Vladimir Putin, ever since his ascent to presidency of the Russian Federation, has functioned as an influential figure on the world scene. He has accumulated a lot of power over the years. Putin's exact net worth, however, is unknown, but some have speculated that they may even be the world's richest person. On today's video here at Lux Craze, we'll explore how this Russian president may have more than meets the eye. Also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Thanks. If Donald Trump is seen as wealthy because he resides in a 100 million penthouse, we must also consider that Vladimir Putin has a higher level of seeming riches since he resides in a $1 billion mansion and has a $500 million yacht. If we judge Putin based on these advantages, he contributed to the Russian economy expanding for 8 years in a row and officially declared he would run for president a third term. After serving as Dmitry Medvedev's prime minister from 2006 to 2012, nothing will stop this president. Putin works to project an image of an outdoorsy strong guy by showcasing his physical capabilities and engaging in bizarre or risky activities like extreme sports and interactions with wild animals. On top of that, back in 2007, he once released a giant photograph of a bare-chested Putin vacationing on the Siberian mountains under the heading, "Be Like Putin." He was Time magazine's Person of the Year in 2007 and 2015. In 2018, Forbes listed him as the second most powerful person just after China's supreme leader, Xi Jinping. It's realistic to suppose that Putin has a sizable amount of cash on hand in addition to a variety of opulent goods at his disposal. We'll start by identifying some of these things that he owns. The Kremlin estimates that the Russian president makes about $133,000 per year and lives in a modest apartment. However, you might immediately conclude that this is a total fiction if you view a photo of Putin and his way of life. That's not even close to how Putin's life appears to be. Stanislav Belkovsky, a former government counselor of Russia, estimates the value of Putin's fortune at $70 billion. Bill Browner, a hedge fund manager and well-known opponent of Putin, asserted that the figure was closer to $200 billion. With a fortune that size, he would surpass Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon and the current richest man in the world, who is still worth $150.2 billion. Putin certainly hides his wealth by utilizing proxies within his inner circle, which is why his net worth is so muddled. Nevertheless, we were able to identify some of Putin's assets because of pictures of leaks from trusted sources. To more accurately gauge how much we are aware he has, according to opposition politicians and journalists in Russia, Putin covertly owns a fortune worth several billions of dollars through his ownership of consecutive shares in a number of Russian businesses. Putin may not technically be the owner of these 43 planes, but because he is the only political figure in Russia, he can act as though he does. He also claims an editorial in Washington Post. In fact, the exact amount of Putin's fortune is unknown, according to a public statement made by the United States website polygraph.info. 11 million papers from the Panamanian legal firm Mossack Fonseca were released in April 2016 to the German weekly Süddeutsche Zeitung and the international consortium investigative journalists located in Washington, D.C. Vladimir Putin's name did not appear in any of the records, and he denied having any connection to the business. Nonetheless, 3 of Putin's cronies on the list have been covered by various media outlets. Close trustees of Putin reportedly possess offshore firms worth a total of $2 billion, according to the Panama Papers leak. According to the German publication Süddeutsche, there is a good chance that Putin's family will make money off of this. The Moscow Kremlin serves as Vladimir Putin's official residence. However, he spends the majority of his time in Novo Ogorovio, a government mansion in a suburb outside the city. Additionally, he supposedly has access to 20 separate palaces and villas, with the so-called hidden palace being the most contentious. This is said to have been constructed for Putin using illicit state funds. This enormous residence was constructed with a view of the Black Sea coast of Russia. Originally intended as a simple vacation home with a pool, it now has a magnificent column facade resembling the country's palaces built by Russian czars in the 18th century. A golden imperial eagle is perched atop the substantial wrought iron gates leading into the courtyard. There are elegant gardens, a private theater, a landing pad with 3 helicopter bays, and guard quarters outside. This hidden home allegedly cost $1 billion to construct. Instead of being a simple house, it has beautiful wall art and huge bedrooms that resemble an old Italian cathedral. Other facilities to which they were not permitted included enormous spider chandeliers. However, Boris Nemtsov created a report asserting that Putin had numerous private aircrafts, including helicopters and yachts. He even claimed that 9 of the 20 state homes Putin had access to were constructed during his presidency. Also, Putin was charged with possessing 58 different kinds of aircrafts, including a 19-seat Dassault Falcon. One of his aircraft allegedly had a jeweler's decorated cabin costing $11 million. The price of the toilet was even close to an estimated $100,000. Putin is allegedly to own 5 of these aircrafts, which can accommodate 186 passengers. Putin owns 4 ships, each of which costs several thousands of dollars to maintain. In 2015, one of his yachts had an overhaul. Its customization reportedly cost $1.2 billion. Another of his vessels allegedly has 6 bedrooms and can accommodate 14 people. Roman Abramovich, one of Russia's wealthiest men, also gave him a present of a 57-meter luxury boat valued at $35 million. There are rumors that Putin used government funds to operate the boat, which went by the name of Olympia. Putin has been pictured wearing a variety of pricey wristwatches for a total of $700,000, or nearly 6 times his annual income. In particular, Putin is the owner of a $500,000 A-Lang and Sun Turbograph Perpetual Pour Le Mérite. Putin is rumored to occasionally present factory workers and peasants with timepieces worth thousands of dollars. Moreover, a $1 million Patek Philippe that will be auctioned off in July 2017 was also claimed to be owned by Putin. The accompanying paperwork indicated that he was in fact the owner. According to reports, the president even once owned 5 Blancpain watches, but gave one away to a youngster in Siberia while on vacation and another to a factory worker who requested something to remember him by. According to reports, the timepieces were valued at $12,500. Also, it's been claimed that Putin wears extremely expensive designer apparel, mentioning Valentino as one of his preferred suit manufacturers. This was further supported by the publication Russia Beyond the Headlines. They take a tailor several hours to make from beginning to end, costing a starting price of $5,500 for each suit. Nonetheless, with his collection of yachts, private planes, and watches, that is essentially pocket money for the Russian leader. Putin has made preparations to avoid being discovered while being aware of the paparazzi. For more than 10 years, Putin has been dressed by the same stylist. With the purpose of preventing his clothing from unintentionally drawing attention, the stylist removes all of the labels from Putin's clothing. Despite this, he was spotted wearing sweatpants made of a cashmere and silk combination from Alluro. This cost $3,200 when combined with a coordinating top, making Vladimir Putin's attire pocket money once more. In 2007, when former Kremlin employee Stanislav Belkovsky asserted that Putin was the 4th wealthiest man on the planet thanks to a $40 billion fortune stashed away in Switzerland and Liechtenstein. Nonetheless, despite Putin's best efforts to hide his billionaire riches, many have calculated that he is even wealthier than Jeff Bezos, making him even wealthier than Donald Trump or other candidates for the job of world leader. Do you believe that Putin may actually be that wealthy? Comment and let us know down below your thoughts. From us here at LuxGrace, thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next video.